Hello and welcome back to Shelf Center. This is Bryce. Thanks so much for stopping by. Thanks for liking and subscribing. If this is something you have been enjoying, you never know, it could happen. Well, we are almost there. This is the top 100 science fiction books of all time, according to me, and the books that I've actually read, and not any of the books that I haven't read. So that's what it's kind of narrowed down to. Today I've got books 30 through 21, so we are literally in the final countdown, and so here we go. Let's jump into it. Book number 30 is Cat's Cradle by Kurt Vonnegut. I am a huge Kurt Vonnegut fan. He's already made it a couple times on this list. This is no less. Cat's Cradle apparently was like his master's thesis, something like that. Editing Bryce, I'm sure knows. But it's so good, but I still remember like there's always some kind of overarching theme to a Vonnegut book, and mostly it's repeated over and over and over again. And this one is definitely no cat, no cradle. And I love that, just that theme it makes so much sense, where essentially it's like the twine, right? The game with Cat's Cradle where you have the twine between your fingers, and where's the cat? Where's the cradle? What are we talking about? Why is it called that? I'm sure there's some explanation that some internet sleuth has found. It is just a good metaphor that he uses for many things, like war. And so it's not really what we think it is, and that's just the barest reading of it. But it's got the typical just acerbic wit from Kurt Vonnegut. And I don't even always agree with everything that he says, but I like that he gets you thinking. I like that he'll joke about anything, and it's a classic for a reason, and I absolutely love it. And I like it more than Slaughterhouse-Five, which is like the one that everybody knows. Number 29, this is actually a very recent discovery of mine, and I'm so glad I read it. It's Blind Sight by Peter Watts. It is excellently done. It's a really good, just like take a concept and really explore it. And this is essentially like, what is sentience? What is like actually living? What is kind of almost to be a human? What does that actually mean? Because everything in this apparently is like, well, certain grass behaves in a certain way, or what is instinct and what is actually thinking. This really explores it, and explores it well with aliens. It's a really well done thing. It's kind of scary at times. It's got like some horror elements, which I really liked as part of it. Anyway, I can't recommend that one enough. Number 28, this is Station 11 by Emily St. John. This is one, I need to watch the show. I always forget that exists. This is almost like literary science fiction. It's really well done, thought-provoking science fiction, but just told in just like a very nice literary way, like I said. I cannot recommend it enough. You probably already know about it based on the show, but it's just really cool and an interesting take. Anyway, I don't want to get, if I get into too many spoilers, then anyway, it'll ruin it. But it's well told. It's worth just seeing a science fiction just told in a different way than most science fiction that I've read, at least. Number 27 is going to be Replay by Ken Grimwood, and I mentioned this Groundhog's Day kind of situation concept before in Live, Die, Repeat, or Edge of Tomorrow, which is the good name. This is taking it a little bit longer. You've got essentially this like time period, I want to say it's been a little bit, but like from like 20 to like 44, that this guy keeps reliving. And so once he gets to that age, boom, it starts all over. It's just an interesting concept because, I mean, how many times do you think, oh, I wish I could redo things? And here you go. Here's his chance. But it's depressing. It's way sad. It's way more sad than you think. It's what if you can't make the same choices, or what if you try to make the same choices and you do it differently or wrong, or maybe there was only 1 in a million chance for something. It's just a fascinating, like, interesting concept. Of course, you use all your knowledge of what companies make it big, and then you're rich each time. So, or which I think it starts out like which games to bet on. Anyway, and it's just an interesting concept that I don't think I understood it as well when I first rated it, and the more I've like sat with it, and I still think about it to this day, and it's been like, I don't know, at least 5 years. And I still think about it where I'm like, it keeps moving up my list because it is, I need to do a reread probably, but it is fascinating. All right, number 26, you definitely have heard of this one. This is going to be the Expanse series. So this is book 3 actually, but James S.A. Corey. This is just a blast to read. They're just, this is actually pretty close too. As close as you'll get to a Hollywood blockbuster in book form. I think that's pretty accurate. And then I think George R. R. Martin had a quote that was like, science fiction as it ought to be written. And it's cool. This is just like near future, very plausible science fiction, where humans still act like humans and have our innate biases and our prejudices, and we act on them and on things that don't look the same as us. And it's just an interesting take on that, and on just, but also like throwing in like mysteries usually, or some kind of like almost like detective mystery thing. So it's really well done. It's cool to explore, like, and again, it's like the solar system. So it's like very plausible, not just like, hey, we figured out faster than light travels and now we can do all these things. It's literally like right in here, and it seems like it could be real. All right, number 25, and I thought this made it up higher in my list, but man, this must be a good list. If I don't say so myself. Rendezvous with Rama by Arthur C. Clarke. I believe this is my favorite Arthur C. Clarke, and I think it made it the highest. We'll see. I just love the concepts in this, and then where it really does a good job of just diving into this like exploration of this brand new foreign thing. And it's like humans trying to describe this crazy foreign thing, but only with the abilities that we have to describe what we've seen. And so it's really cool and interesting and just so foreign and alien, and it gets you and it works. All right, number 24, I'm going with The Gone Away World by Nick Harkaway. It's actually not even my favorite Harkaway, but it is awesome. I love it. But Nick Harkaway, absolutely cannot recommend enough. Just like nuts. I mean, they will have encountered everything from mimes, ninjas, and pirates to one ultra sinister mastermind whose only goal is world domination. That's pretty accurate. It's nuts. It's all over. It's funny at times. I mean, apparently I like this just like serious, but like you can play with it and laugh with it, not unlike Vonnegut. It's really well told and nuts, like I said, this like end of the world scenario, and it's just great. Number 23 is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I absolutely love this. I know people have hated on the choices the main character makes. Maybe he's just so much smarter than us. I don't know, or a whiny baby. Sure, whatever. But I love that Crouch really took this in a direction that I was not ready for, and it's so cool. And it's not ready for in all the best ways, because he takes it in a great way, and it is nuts. And I cannot recommend it enough. And again, it's just these great, just standalone books. Boom. You got this cool concept, you got these great characters, like see what happens, like push it all the way through, keep the pages turning and the action pretty high, and you got yourself just a winning combination, which he's found. All right, number 22, we're gonna go with the Thrawn trilogy. This is all that has survived since I've given a bunch to my kids. The Last Command is what I have, but Heir to the Empire is the first one. Then Dark Force Rising, and then The Last Command. This is cool because this, I want to say, I mean, the new movies, the new, like the sequels, not the prequels, hadn't come out yet, and that's when I read Heir to the Empire first, and it was just cool to get some new Star Wars. It's the same characters, especially if you do the audiobooks. I think it's, what is it, Mark Jacobs, I want to say? I could be wrong on that. That could just be a fashion designer. But the audiobooks are really well done because the voices are amazing. Like Lando Calrissian is Lando Calrissian. I mean, the only one that like maybe isn't is Luke, possibly, but he's not even like the main guy on these. But they're super well told, really fun. And I actually got the chance to meet Timothy Zahn at FanX literally this year. And that was so cool. It was really, really fun because we were in line to get him to sign a book that we were buying for actually, as a present for the people we were staying with. And so we get up there and we're kind of like, we really wish you were the one writing the Star Wars movies. And he was just like, preacher, choir. And it was great. So we kind of chatted, and I honestly mean it. I mean, I try not to just like blow smoke up someone's back end, whatever. I try not to like overly do that, but I do look for the positives in people. But this is when I firmly wish that he were writing or had something to do with it, because it's like my whole thing with the new movies and everything Star Wars on Disney Plus is just that we've got all these great stories, and we actually had a kind of a playground to see, like, in the expanded universe, like what could work, what wouldn't work, and you could just use some of those instead of just being like, it's not canon, we're just gonna throw it all away. Like, it's just there's some popular stuff in that. I don't understand why it was just like thrown away. And all it rings is that, to me, is that thing that George R. R. Martin complained about is people just want to make all things their own. And it's like, well, then go create your own thing. Then that can be your own. Make that good. Don't like mess with the thing that already is established. Anyway, I'll get off that soapbox. But anyway, it was really cool because we were about to leave and we were all dressed like Lord of the Rings characters, and he like pulled us back with this busy line and was like, and we talked about the Lord of the Rings movies, and then we asked for a picture. So anyway, I'll show that. But what a cool guy, just really good guy. And then, and again, made the time for us. It was really special. All right, then 21, and you're gonna see if this is 21, imagine what the 20 are gonna be. Can't, I know. So it's going to be the Murderbot series. I love this series, and it is 21. So this is great. I did struggle, I guess, with the couple in here, but they've really totally redeemed themselves. But they're so much fun to read. They're like, again, science fiction with humor. But also serious action and all kinds of things. Not as thought-provoking as some. It's pretty much, I mean, there's a little bit, but it's mostly action. I like thought-provoking and I like action. I like them both. They can both exist together in the same book or in separate books. It's okay. So anyway, classic. I love this. You should read it if you haven't. So that's 30 through 21. We are getting there. We're almost there to the top, and it is crazy. I can't believe we are doing this. So, frankly, I can't believe that I was able to come up with this list, to be honest. It took some time, let's say. I've spent some hours, frankly, on not even just filming these, because the filming has taken many hours, but the coming up with the list took hours. So anyway, thanks for bearing with me. Thanks. Hopefully you're enjoying it, and let me know if you're interested in any of these or if I'm wrong about any of them, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.